in general cannot seem to conceive is that when treaties were signed, it was on a nation-to-nation basis. One government to the other government, one country to the other country. That's how these treaties came about, on a nation-to-nation basis. Royal Proclamation of 1763 states clearly that we are a sovereign nation. King George recognized everything.
Isn't there recognition of that now? Isn't the Prime Minister saying, I get it, I will move from this point forward on a nation-to-nation basis?
If he gets it, why did the Bill C-38, Bill C-45 come into play? Because and also other forms of bills that are coming in. Bill S-2, the matrimonial property rights, and Bill 428, Indian Act, and another bill. That's going to take control of every facet of our life. If you say that he understands this, why is he taking everything away from us? But the understanding is that we had a treaty relationship with the Crown, period. Not with Canada. We never signed treaties with Canada yet. That was one of the conditions. Canada was to play a role when it recreated itself to become an independent country. But that has never taken shape yet, and we're trying to get that to be honored. But without, it's not progressing to that point. It's progressing. Instead of building a treaty relationship with us, taking our treaties and everything that goes with us as a nation of people. King George recognized the sovereignty of everything that our government, our institutions, our way of life, recognizes it's all in Royal Proclamation. And we are a sovereign nation, and Governor General is still, though he may be symbolic, representative of the Crown, he still has a vital role from our perspective, because we did sign treaties with the Crown, not the head of the government, which is our firm.
Right. One of the things that we do on this program is we hold leaders to account. We question how they spend the public's money. You're a leader in your community. You're an elected politician in some ways. There was an audit done on your band's finances, and they couldn't come up with any conclusions. Why weren't better records and receipts kept to be able to satisfy the auditors?
Well, I'll explain what happened with this audit. I was disappointed when it came up to the media, because when we had a report back in September or August, we had a meeting with the Indian Affairs Department, and the regional director was there. And we heard the recommendations from the audit, and we explained what was the lack, what needs to be improved. So when we all were having discussion, we said it's good that we had this comprehensive audit. It's a learning process for both parties, the Indian Affairs and the First Nations. And the what do you call it? I mentioned to them, well, it's good to see where we need to improve, and we'll comply with the recommendations. And
so going forward,
yes,
keep more.
Let me finish. And I told him, like, okay, we're going to comply with the recommendations, but we don't want you to use this against us. We want to have a better working relationship. And they said, yes, we will. We'll promise that we're not going to use it against us. So this is why I was really disappointed to see it on the media. In that audit that took place, we asked for forensic audit when we were going through the third-party process, but they said no. We will do a comprehensive audit. And I asked why. They said, well, it's going to take too long if you do a forensic audit. We'll stick to the comprehensive audit. And, so they came to our community 5 days. And they left for another week, and they came back 5 days. Like, when you do a comprehensive audit, it takes months. It doesn't take 10 days. And there were documents in the warehouse, which they didn't even go look at it. And the staff were busy that time because we were in a period of that third-party situation. Like it was a witch hunt for the court that took place on April 24th.
So you took the audit though, and you said, okay, this is how we can do better. We'll do better at record keeping. We'll do better in keeping our receipts.
Yeah.
But as a political leader, would it not make more sense to not have someone that you have a personal relationship with as your co-manager to provide more transparency in that kind of thing?
Co-manager was hired by the rest of the chief and counsel.
Yeah, I didn't hire the co-manager. It was council, and Jennifer approved it. And you know, people knew I had a relationship with the co-manager before I was elected. You know, I was in a relationship with him.
There are politicians, though, in this building all the time who have to make decisions that have the appearance of better, of doing
the
better.
co-manager, what do you call it, has a role to the chief and council, not to me, the chief, to the council members. That you put recommendations, and the council approve it. We have a conflict of interest and policies in place that we comply with. So you know.
You think you're not in any conflict of interest there?
No, because like I said, it's council members. Everything goes to them. I don't vote on it up by myself. It's the council members.
Okay.
And it's hard, you know.
If I may, you're looking to Bill C-27, the First Nation Transparency Act. Now, I've been thinking about this Bill C-27. The government wants it to be transparent with every finances that we do.
Right.
But yet it's not very transparent and accountable to what he does to what First Nation. Take my community, for instance. Each community across Canada gets a per capita basis funding formula from the government. For every child, for every human being there is registered as a band registry, you get a certain amount of money. Now, the funding formula that is being used in my community dates back to 1982. We haven't had any increase on a funding formula basis since 1982.
And you've had an explosion of
back
people.
then we were only about 3,000 people.
Right.
Now we reached beyond 8,000. So we have to carry these 5,000 extra population that increased over these 3 decades with the money that we get still that 3,000 per capita basis. Now how would he be able to serve and provide basic needs of housing, infrastructure, economic social development, health, policing, and everything that goes with it, just to provide the basic needs of our First Nations. We borrow almost on a weekly basis just to try to provide the basic needs of these people. Now, if only the government of Canada can be transparent of how he treats it, and with respect to their funding formulas. For instance, the Treasury Public Treasury provides money on the private companies, and we don't get ours. The corporations, factories extract our resources on a daily basis. As we speak, they're doing it, and they're taxed to death. We don't get a percentage of it. It goes all to the government, to the private
provinces, and then you get a section of that.
We don't get nothing.
Well, I mean, in the diamond mine, there is some money that flows.
I don't come from a diamond mine.
No, we don't get that. No.
And I know they don't get nothing. If they did, their condition would be the way it is right now. People living in shacks.
Okay, we've talked about treaty rights. We've talked about your protest being day to day. I know you were visited, you said, by a nurse practitioner this week about your health.
Yes.
Did she tell you how much weight you've lost in these 41 days?
I lost over 30 pounds now.
How have you felt that? Do you feel it on your rings?
Yeah, mostly all over, especially, you know, my rings, my cords are getting really loose, and I could feel it, you know, just by walking.
And for those Canadians out there who are doubters, that don't think you've actually gone through this process, what would you say to them?
Well, you know, there's always criticism, but you have to believe it to see it. So come and visit me, and come and talk to me. You'll see what I'm going through, and you know, it's hard for the people to see or understand what's happening. But the question to the Canadian citizen for me is, you should ask, why is this happening with the First Nation protest?
The official spokesperson on behalf of Theresa and along with Raymond, the
an awakening, a call to reaffirm our rights and our rightful place here in Canada.
All right. We want to thank you very much for joining us in the studio today, and Chief Spence, thank you.
Thank you.